You're fired. Clear out your locker. Samantha stood frozen, the words hitting her harder than she expected. She had always been the kind-hearted coffee shop manager who stood up for what was right, but her simple act of defending a veteran and his service dog had cost her the job she loved. Despite that, it didn't go unnoticed. An hour later, something happened that would change her life forever. Hi everyone, welcome to Tales Unveiled. Let's get started. Samantha was a 35-year-old woman who managed Riverside Coffee. Unlike many of her peers who were chasing big careers in the city, Samantha found fulfillment in her job at the coffee shop. She had a deep respect for the military community. Her father had been a Marine, and she grew up understanding the sacrifices veterans made. Samantha had started at Riverside Coffee as a barista 6 years ago, back when Old Joe still owned it. Her mother could never understand why Samantha would waste her business degree making coffee. You could be making 6 figures in the city, her mother would say. But Samantha knew that money wasn't everything. She had seen firsthand how the coffee shop had helped her father after his last tour. The presence of a friendly place, where other veterans understood him, had made all the difference. The townspeople loved coming to Riverside Coffee because of Samantha. She remembered everyone's stories, who the Marines were who had been deployed, which families had kids coming home, which veterans needed extra kindness on tough days. She even kept a notebook behind the counter with everyone's usual orders and the names of their family members. Riverside Coffee was right near the Marine base, and Samantha made sure every service member felt welcome there. She knew all her regular customers by name, and she always had a kind word for everyone who came in. But it was her special care for veterans with service dogs that made her stand out. Samantha had watched her own father struggle with PTSD after returning from his final tour. If only service dogs had been common back then, she would often say to herself. That's why she made sure every service dog and their handler felt especially welcome at Riverside Coffee. Every Wednesday morning, Samantha hosted what she called Veterans Coffee Hour. It started with just 4 regulars but grew to over 20 veterans who gathered to share stories and support each other. She kept a wall of photos behind the counter showing all the service members who visited the shop. One of the regular customers was James, a veteran who came in with his service dog, Max. When James first started coming to the coffee shop 2 years ago, he could barely speak his order. He would jump at the smallest noise, and Max would stay pressed against his leg, keeping him calm. But over time, with Samantha's kindness and Max's help, James started to feel more comfortable. Everything was going well until the day the new health inspector showed up. Mr. Thompson was known around town for being extremely strict. He had already shut down 3 businesses that month, and he didn't care about understanding the community. That morning, James came in with Max like usual. The big German Shepherd was wearing his service dog vest and staying close to James, just doing his job. But as soon as Mr. Thompson saw Max, his face turned red with anger. "You can't have dogs in here," he shouted, making several customers jump. "It's a health code violation. This establishment will be shut down immediately." Samantha saw James start to tremble, the same way her father used to when he got overwhelmed. Without hesitation, she stepped forward. "Sir," she said calmly, "Max is a registered service dog. The ADA laws clearly state that service animals must be allowed in food service establishments," she added. "I don't care about any laws," Mr. Thompson snapped. "Either the dog leaves or I'm shutting this place down." The district manager, who had come to oversee the inspection, looked horrified. "Samantha, apologize right now," he demanded. Samantha stood her ground. "I won't apologize for following federal law," she said firmly. "My father was a Marine. He taught me that standing up for what's right matters more than keeping your job." "Then you don't have a job anymore," the district manager yelled. "You're fired. Clear out your locker." Samantha yanked off her apron. 6 years she'd put into this place. 6 years of early mornings, late nights, remembering every regular's order, and just like that, gone. Fired for standing up for a veteran. Her gut sank. Rent was due next week. She had no backup plan, no safety net. She grabbed her stuff from the back, swallowing the lump in her throat. Then she heard it. A low rumble, then another, and another. Engines, a lot of them. The ground almost shook with it. She frowned, walked to the door, then stopped dead. The car park was full of Marines, lined up in uniform, serious as hell. And leading them? Colonel James Parker, heading straight for the door. What they didn't know was that someone had filmed the whole thing. A customer in line was married to the Marine Corps base commander, and within minutes, the video was spreading through the base like wildfire. The colonel walked straight up to Mr. Thompson and the district manager. "Gentlemen," he said in a voice that commanded attention, "I believe we need to have a discussion about our veterans." It turned out James wasn't just any veteran. He had earned a Silver Star for valor, and Max wasn't just any service dog. He had been trained through a special program the Marine Corps started for veterans with PTSD, a program that was Colonel Parker's personal project. The colonel made one phone call to the state health department. Just like that, Mr. Thompson was reassigned to another district, and the district manager was sent for immediate training. But the Marines weren't finished. Colonel Parker turned to Samantha with an offer she never expected. "Ms. Mitchell," he said, "we've been looking for someone to run our new veteran outreach program at the base, someone who understands both customer service and the importance of standing up for what's right. The job's yours if you want it." The story spread quickly through military communities across the country. The coffee shop's corporate office apologized and started a program supporting service dog training for veterans, with Samantha as the program's director. Last Wednesday, Samantha watched proudly as James spoke up for the first time during coffee hour. He told the group about his first deployment, his voice shaky at first but growing stronger as Max leaned against his leg. The other veterans nodded in understanding. They'd all been there. One older Marine reached over and patted James's shoulder. "Welcome home, brother," he said quietly. Samantha had to wipe away tears as she refilled their coffee cups. This was exactly why she loved her job. Today, Samantha runs both the Veteran Outreach Program and the Service Dog Initiative. The coffee shop has become a model for others with a special welcome area for service dogs and their handlers. James and Max still come in every morning, but now they're joined by dozens of other veterans and their service animals. The wall of photos behind the counter has grown. Next to each service member's photo is a picture of their service dog. Samantha keeps her father's photo in the center with a sign that reads, "All who served welcome, 2 legs or 4. As for the district manager who fired her, he now works with Samantha, helping train other businesses about service dogs. Sometimes the biggest lessons come from our biggest mistakes. Samantha's father always told her that doing the right thing isn't always easy. That day, she proved him right, but she also proved something else. When you stand up for the right people stand up for you.